I'm just your average, everyday, typical man. I work hard all day and try to enjoy what little time I'm afforded to myself. I'm also an avid gamer. Ever since I was a young boy, I've had a deep interest in video games. What a fascinating medium, combining the arts of storytelling and interactive entertainment. Rich worlds full of deep lore and gorgeous atmospheres. Music composed by the greatest minds of our time. And fictional names that shall ring across time forever, such as The Mario, Crash Bandicoot, Scourge the Hedgehog, and so many more. Needless to say, I spend a great deal of my time and money on video games. But after the incident, well, let's just say I'll never play another video game again in my life. It started out like any other day. I woke up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy, as the old saying goes, performed my typical morning ritual, and spent the next 10 hours at my job. The workday was uneventful, but I was excited as it was payday, my favorite day of the week. On my walk home, I spotted a colorful sign made of construction paper and markers that said, "Yard Sale." Yard sale? A sale within a yard? How quaint. Seeing as I now had extra spending money, I decided I might as well take a gander. What if I find something worthwhile after all? This was the worst mistake I had ever made in my whole life. In the yard of a one-story blue house sat 3 folding tables, covered in all kinds of assorted items, and sitting beside them all was an old man in a lawn chair, clearly the resident of whom was selling all these knickknacks. We met with our eyes, to which a small smile beamed upon his face, as if to say hello. A good business tactic to make me feel obligated to at least buy something, of which I certainly would now. I spied a CD binder on one of the tables and meandered over, hoping inside might perchance be a video game or two. To my surprise, there were quite a few, as well as many bootleg movies and burned CDs. Right up my alley, of course. The cover of the binder had a note card taped to it that said 5 for $5, so I carefully chose my favorites. One CD on the last page stood out more than any of the others. It was an unmarked blank CD, labeled in Sharpie with Dragon's Dogma 1.5 edition Do Not Touch, which I found odd as I'd never heard of a special 1.5 edition of Dragon's Dogma. This would be a great opportunity for me to finally beat the game, as I'd spent years on and off playing without ever getting too far. I grabbed a handful of other items I was interested in and went to the humble cashier. Upon noticing a copy of Dragon's Dogma, he told me, "I'll give you that for free. I simply want it gone. It's cursed." Cursed, I repeated back at him. How can a video game be cursed? "Listen to me, boy. I used to be 32 before I played this game. Now I'm old and senile." He died shortly after telling me this. I thought nothing of this and went home. Old people do go crazy often and die suddenly. This just happened to be one of those times, unfortunately. I hurried home, excited to play with my new toys. It didn't help that it was beginning to darken outside and began to rain. As soon as I made it inside, I ran for my Xbox to play Dragon's Dogma 1.5 as soon as possible. I slipped the disc into the chamber and was met with quite the odd happenstance. The disc wasn't being recognized. Perhaps it had been scratched, so I took it out, but upon close inspection, I saw that it was perfectly clean, as if brand new. I tried once again and was met with the same fate. As a last-ditch attempt to play my game, I threw the disc into the tray of my PC. To my surprise and shock, the game had booted up. This was abnormal, as I had believed this were an Xbox copy of Dragon's Dogma for the Xbox, but as it turns out, it warrants not that one. The game swiftly installed, and within the hour, I was staring at the iconic and beloved main menu screen known round the world by all gamers. Except, something seemed off. I couldn't quite explain it, but perhaps the font being papyrus should have been my first clue as to the events that I unknowingly set in motion before me. I began a new game and was greeted with the opening tutorial. The same old tutorial I remember from my Youthman days. I've always hated this tutorial. It drags and doesn't give you a very good idea of what the rest of the game is like. Honestly, the entirety of the first few opening hours of this game kind of feel like shit. The point at which I start even remotely enjoying the game is usually around after you kill that big snake like the Hydra, that thing, but I usually stop before I ever get there because this opening is just a fucking slog. I entered the character customization screen, but something was deeply wrong. The customizable character I saw was me, but something was deeply wrong with me. My eyes were real eyes, but they were black and shiny, but they were hollow. I had no eyes. Where my pupils should have been, there were bright red pupils, and my black hollow real eyes sockets were bleeding, and it was real blood, and the real blood was leaking from my monitor a little bit, and it stained my desk, and that wasn't good. That takes a while to get out. I pressed yes, this is my character. I played as me and wandered up to the sea beach. What a quaint little village of humble peasant folks. Quite friendly, surely. Alas, there is an attack. From a Dogma dragon of Dragon's Dogma fame, may chance. This is all typical. Same old intro I've always known. But something felt deeply wrong. Before I even had a chance to consider my scenario, I was in the game. It was me, implanted into the game. Before me stood Dogma the Dragon, creator of the Dragon's Dogma, and in a loud, booming voice he spoke unto me.
I am Dogma, Dragon of the Dogma, but I'm also the ghost of the maker of the video game, Shigeru Miyamoto. I have come to make a deal with you.
What could I possibly offer you, Shigeru Miyamoto the Dragon? I shouted back.
I ask but one thing of you, boy. A kiss.
I was beside myself in astonishment. The Shigeru Miyamoto, Dragon of the Dogma, wanted to kiss me? I must be dreaming. I accepted his offer. No, wait. I accept your offer, Dogma, the Dragon of the Dogma. This was it. The moment I'd been waiting for my whole life. As our faces inched closer, I could tell something was wrong. Our lips collided in a sea of heat and passion, skin on skin. Me and Shigeru Miyamoto made sweet mouth love. No one had ever made me feel this way before. We stopped to breathe. His long dragon tongue unwrapped itself from mine. Through heavy panting, I spoke up. Dragon Miyamoto, Dogma Dragon from Dragon's Dogma, is this all you wanted? He leaned in close and in a hushed tone said to me,
No, I want your soul!
What? I retorted. He pushed me to the ground and rose into the air, his voice booming from all angles.
I wanted your soul! And now that we have passionately made out, even though we're both boys, and that's wrong, I have taken your soul!
I was shattered. The love of my life had not only taken my soul, but more importantly, he lied to me. I wanted to scream and yell, but I couldn't bring myself to do so. I fell to my knees and wept. I woke up, slumped over my keyboard. Was it all just a bad dream? I stood up from my desk to stretch my back before leaning back in. I had to make sure that this was all just a bad dream. I opened my disc tray. No sign of the Blu-ray DVD of Dragon's Dogma 1.5, the Forgotten Edition, to be seen. I scoured my local files as well, seeing no sign that the game ever existed. 'Twas all just a nightmare. My soul is still safe, I shouted aloud, probably annoying my upstairs neighbor. I heard a faint rumbling. Nothing too suspicious, but it was abnormal nonetheless. I turned back to my PC, only to find Dragon's Dogma loading up. How could this be? I thought it wasn't even there.
Your soul was never safe. I am the devil, and I am here to fulfill your contract with Shigeru Miyamoto.
I was confused. Who could this be? Who are you? I yelled.
The devil!
Boomed the devil. This shook me to my core. The devil was in my bedroom desktop computer trying to kill me. I only had one defense against this. My final solution, as it were. I quickly unholstered my revolver, cleverly hidden underneath my taint. I pointed it at my computer. This would be a costly maneuver, but it's all I could do. I unloaded 4 shots into the desktop and watched as it faded from this earth. A shame, I really liked that PC. I breathed a sigh of relief. Finally, I was free to live my life again. Little did I know, my monitor sputtered back to life as the devil reached through it and grabbed my ankle, pulling me into his digital hell. I panicked and shot myself in the mouth, finally ending the nightmare. I woke up in my bed. Was it all just a dream? I sighed. What an act of emotion I have, it seems. As I stood up, I realized this wasn't my bed, and this wasn't my bedroom. I was in hell, which in this case looks like Dragon's Dogma, and the dragon that's Shigeru Miyamoto, which is the creator of Dragon's Dogma, is actually my girlfriend's soul, and I failed to save her, and now we're both dead and in Dragon's Dogma forever. The end.